Hello, here's a quick little preview video of the items that are going online for our online estate sale. Right now we're doing these primarily in person with the majority of the items, but sometimes after we have them, I can put a few things online as well so that people that aren't local or who can't attend in person have a chance to purchase them. But I like to be able to explain them a little bit too, and I can't, so I'll just do as quick as I can. So a few freshwater pearl strands, just some nicer stick pearls, beautiful coin pearls. I'm not going to quote prices in this video, but everything is 50% off, oftentimes from its original price, decades ago. These are beautiful stick pearls. These are all 16 inches. Something like this little pink flat one has 3 extra pearls. You know how when we pull the pearls off the hank and put them in a bag, the end sometimes breaks, and there's those extra pearls. That's what those are. There's some half strands of these very nice coins. There's a little quarter strand of very high-end precious pearls in a 6mm round that are stunning. It would be so pretty to wire wrap that into a longer bracelet or a necklace. And then there's some larger whole ones as well. There's this gorgeous strand of aquamarine. This is not from my store, but it's very pretty. And I leave original tags on when I can, even if it wasn't purchased at my store, so you can at least see the original one, not knowing when this one was purchased, but it's very pretty. There's a couple strands of our amethyst here. These are a little shorter. On a couple of these, it's clear there was originally maybe multiple strands, but instead of doing like one full strand at 16 inches and then not having enough to do another strand, we'll sometimes do 2 like shorter strands. So these are 12 inches, which is still plenty long. There's a beautiful strand of sapphires here and of gorgeous peridot rondelles. And then I've mentioned a couple times that I have previous estate sales that have, or people that have just given me their collection over time, and I've kept them like packed up in boxes. So I've started going through them a little bit more, and I found some. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I found many strands, but these kind of go with this collection. So there's a strand of green garnets here and a strand of ametrine and faceted that's really beautiful. And so I've kept those original tags are on there, right, from 58. And so, when I can, we'll make them half of that original price. And so you're paying what that customer paid for in 2006 or 8 or, earlier, which is crazy, especially for natural stones that you can't even really find these days. That being said, excuse my reach, we have a couple of our precious strands. I'm sorry, it's so dark right here, but this is this gorgeous strand of imperial topaz that we've had available. It's just a really high-end strand, and I sent photos of these to my original supplier in India to get more of a current quote, and those are on the listing. I think this is quoted closer to $3,000 now. It's a full 18 inches with a couple or with an 1.5 inch extension and gold filled finishing, so it's ready to go, or you can cut it apart. And the same thing with this beautiful strand of emeralds as well. So that information is online. They are now less than they were, again, at their original purchase time, which the topaz was 2008 and the emeralds were a little before that. We will move on. We have a lovely selection of tip drill stones that are insane. And this lovely strand of hessonite, gorgeous. It's something I did not have very often, but that's a big stone for that. This is incredibly high quality carnelian. The clarity is insane, and the color is so beautiful. This is actually 2 strands strung together, so if you'd help me string things, and I didn't specify to stretch this out, so we have 2 strands of carnelian. Sometimes tip drills are strung close together, like gathered, and sometimes they're apart with the French wire. These are originally kind of apart. So the original price for 1 strand was $106. Like I said, there's 2 strands on here. And again, for those that are not familiar, these are completely my natural stones that I bought in India in mostly the mid-2000s, between about 2001 to 2015 would probably be the best time span. And so right now at gem shows, you can't find natural stones anymore. Everything is pretty much lab created in China. And so these beautiful hand cut stones, all different, shapes a little bit. I mean, same shape, but all slightly different because it's hand cut. This is a gorgeous strand of tip drill amethyst. This is also about half a strand. I remember having these, it was graduated, and this was a full 16 inches. I'm sorry, it's so dark. Another great thing to look at with your tip drills, especially, on mine, and something I always looked at, is where the drill is. And it might be hard to see with how dark these are, but right, when you buy a tip drill, especially a natural stone, you may find that sometimes the drill is only slightly lower than the tip, right, which causes the tip to break. And sometimes then the stone is useless because it's broke right at the hole. So these are not that, right? They're drilled, I know it's hard to see, but they're drilled lower. And so through a thicker part of the stone. So it won't have a tendency to break the tip. They'll hang nicer. It's just something to really look at, and it distinguishes a better quality tip drill from another. And so while these are all slightly different sizes and shapes because they're natural and all, hand cut and hand drilled, all of them are drilled low enough with a nice tip so that you won't lose that tip when you're wire wrapping. This is a fantastic strand. The color is insanely gorgeous. Beautiful strand. Kyanite, right? Blue kyanite, so gorgeous. This is a nice length too. I'm sorry, it's so dark here because the color is insanely gorgeous. That was its original price, $220. Chalcedony. This is natural chalcedony. Also very rare. You'll find it, dyed and stuff, knocked off, but its natural color is this beautiful kind of sea foamy blue, right? That's its natural color. And a lot of this is pretty transparent. It's a beautiful, beautiful strand of natural chalcedony. These are gorgeous rubies. They have a lovely transparency to them. It's kind of hard to see, but they're not opaque. They're gorgeous, gorgeous pinky red color. Amazonite, some nice good sized tip drills in Amazonite, and then these lovely little pairs that I had bought in India originally. There's a little cut pair of topaz and then of the rose quartz, right? I mean, they're definitely meant for earrings. You could even take the tassel off and do an ear wire at the top of this, and that can be your whole earring. Or you can take off that whole coil and it's just thread underneath and tie that to an ear wire, or you can wire wrap them. But the quality, I know you can't see it, the quality on these teeny little tips or teeny little stones is fantastic, and the cut is gorgeous, and so they make a really beautiful earring or tassel or something. Going into our larger stones, we have some beauties. These, again, all natural, hand cut, beautiful, beautiful strands of carnelian, vesonite. These carnelians and these citrine is a good example of how there wasn't enough for 2 full strands, and so instead of making 1 full strand and then a partial or a loose, we've done 2 strands that are about 10 inches each. The same thing with the citrine. I love citrine. This size, shape, that clarity, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. And then there's a shorter one or smaller one, and then half a strand of green garnet. So beautiful. The other thing we have here are these strands of precious turquoise. Now, these are not from my store. I didn't carry a precious turquoise because they're very, pricey. It's also not something that you normally source out of India. But this is Sleeping Beauty turquoise. And so what I mean by precious turquoise is, right, today's turquoise is always stabilized with other chemicals and dyes and things. It has to be because of how powdery the substance is. It can't hold on its own anymore. But that wasn't always the case. So there is lots of beautiful beautiful turquoise that is not stabilized, with lots of chemicals and things added to make it and then dyed. This is completely natural Sleeping Beauty turquoise. That was her original price of $800. It's a little shorter. This is, I think, 12 inches, and so its original was 16. So I've adjusted all the price. But still, this is completely natural turquoise. Look at all those colors. Right? And just feels so beautiful. The other two strands are called the Kingsman turquoise, but similar thing. No stabilization, no chemicals added for that. I do believe they're color enhanced, though, or at least this one is, this bottom one. This one might not be. But they are very heavy and very, really, really lovely. So these are some special strands that we're really excited to have in this collection. I am putting a handful of chains, sterling chains, and some Goldfield chains online by the foot. So a few of them I have, like 25 feet and 5 feet of some. And so you can purchase them by the foot. Just don't leave me with 1 foot. If there's like 2 feet left, buy both, please. It just bothers me. And then there's a ton of beautiful lampwork beads. I've put some of them in their strands with their like-minded friends for some of them. And they're just beautiful. I love this strand. It's so like Christmas Dr. Seuss kind of thing. It's so pretty. And they'd be stunning wire wrapped. I would wire wrap them with like caps on either side or smaller beads on either side and do just a big, gorgeous, chunky piece. And then this is a lampwork bead by Andrea Garino from Port Townsend. That is also about 20 years old, at least, maybe 25 years old. She's a beauty. It's a lovely bead, so I put those online. There's a lot more lampwork beads, but I can't put them all online, so I'm just putting a few online. And then same thing with the sterling. I pulled some of the more like special pieces. There's a lot more sterling if you come in person to the estate sales. But these beautiful, and I did polish some of them even though I wasn't going to. But this gorgeous pendant with the jade. I love this little cross. These lovely pieces from Israel. See how that's curved? It's so pretty. This gorgeous clasp. That's a beautiful toggle with the vine. That's a little 3-strand. This box clasp is so gorgeous with a little safety, very high quality. That's Mexican silver. These are Hill Tribe silver from Indonesia. This is Thai silver. This is silver from Israel. So there's so many different qualities here and just beautiful, beautiful pieces that are really rare now, and you pay a fortune for them now because of how much sterling goes for these days. And then the last thing, not super exciting, but I wanted to point out that I am putting a selection of ear wires and then some head pins and eye pins online as well. And these will just be by the pair. And the head pins and eye pins are going to be in, I think, in packs of 10. But she has some beautiful ear wires here. I love this twisted look. I never sold those. And these are all sterling or gold filled. But I love this little twisted style. It's very pretty. And I have pictures of them, of course, on the website because some are quite large. If you like that long, back, that long wire in the back so it's more stable. Or you prefer a smaller, ear wire. So lots of pretty styles there. Okay, like that. So, well, that's not so bad. Ran over a little bit, but not so bad. These are going online on sale. I'm going to send out an email, of course, to our customers. And you'll find items that have been up there for a little while. I've even taken more of a discount, beyond 50%, including these 2 strands, because I can't believe they're still here. So you want to grab these great deals while you can. There's only one of everything, so be the one to grab them. Thanks so much for joining me.